Good evening, folks. Ken Hovind here and the crew at Dinosaur Adventureland in Lenox, Alabama. It is August 26th, 2025. We'll be in Proverbs chapter 17. Go dead center to your Bible, and you should hit the book of Psalms. Actually, you should hit Psalm 118 if you get the exact middle. Then go after Psalms to Proverbs chapter 17. We're starting there in just a minute. We've got a special guest coming in tonight later. Let's see. More wisdom from Dad. Don't chase money, chase righteousness, son. We're on a bunch of different channels, everything but YouTube. But even YouTube's got a bunch of my stuff on there, don't they, Joseph? Thank you. All of you post my stuff on your, make a YouTube channel just so you can post my stuff. Okay. Rumble, Facebook, let's see, TikTok, Twitter, our own app, Instagram, all that kind of stuff. We're on all, go to drdino.com. All the channels are listed there. Be sure to like and share and subscribe. Just sign up for all of them. They're all free. Okay. They're not free for us, but they're free. What's it cost us total to be on all these different channels, brother?
$600 a year for the studio and $6,000 a year for the app.
$600 a year for the studio, $6,000 a year for the app, and yeah, okay. Anyway, here we are, August 26th to 17th. Boot camp coming up this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Be sure to watch that. All kinds of fun stuff going on. Let's see, we have starting with Stephen Boland talking about Ron Wyatt's amazing discoveries. And yes, I do believe he found those things. Some other creationist groups don't. They're wrong. I'm right, okay? And get about Pastor Jay and Pastor James Jones defending the faith. Kevin House, Patrick Garish, Bible and Hell. He'll be my special guest tonight. Hang in there for a few minutes. Rich Vandenberg used to work here at the ministry. Christ Bearer Ministries, Kevin House, Donnie and Matt from Standing for Truth. I've been on their show a bunch of times. They got a bunch of good programs on there. Go to Standing for Truth. If you want to watch some of my debates I've done, that kind of stuff. Okay, you can help us stay open for free. Join our 777 Club. Am I talking too fast, brother?
No,
I got lots to cover here tonight. Okay. If you want to be a member, there's no such thing as a membership. Just help us out. $1 a day if you can, okay? drdino.com. Let's see. Our creation series available, $50 for the whole thing. Get 3 of them for $100. Give them out for birthday parties, birthday presents, anniversaries, any excuse to give it out to somebody. Get our series on what on earth is about to happen, for heaven's sake. By the way, you can get all my slides that I use on all my PowerPoint stuff for $50 on a thumb drive. Did you get the Psalms one up, brother?
no,
Still working on it. Okay. I went through all the 150 Psalms, and we got all my slides on a thumb drive there. If you want to preach on Psalms, get a laptop, plug it in, and get PowerPoint. Anyway, Miracle Sandwich. This lady, Jill, sent me her book. Brother Holt Kent, you're going to love this story. I only read a part of it, but I really enjoy the style of writing. It is great. Thank you, Jill. Hope somebody buys your book. If you need just a good laugh, it's a big book, okay? And just people going through problems. Let's see. Autism, epilepsy, unemployment, betrayal, elderly care, politics, Alzheimer's, and faith. You still have faith through all that. So, Jill, thank you for writing the book. And then Nathan Richardson is the one who went to the Congo and took the trip to go look for the dinosaurs still alive. His book is really funny, just all cartoons based on making fun of evolution. Now, he's a Mormon. He's got a few Mormon things in there, but you can read around that, okay? School funds go to teach evolution instead of I enjoyed the book. Thank you, Richard, or Nathan. I'm sorry, Richard. Thank you so much for sending me that. Appreciate that. Okay, we need help. The world's largest horseshoe crab, made of fiberglass. The world's record horseshoe crab, World Record Academy, Cincinnati weekend. Huh? Well, no, it's not in Cincinnati. It's not in Ohio anymore. It's in Lenox, Alabama. It was a whole lot of work. How much money, Josh, do we put into that thing altogether? A dump truck load. Yeah, got it down here, cut it up in pieces. It's looking sharp. World's largest horseshoe crab. I just Googled this about 2 hours ago. It's 67 feet long, and it's in Hillsboro, Ohio. No, it's not. Could some of you please take it on your personal project? So I'm going to contact all these places that still have the wrong address and change it to Lenox, Alabama. Atlas obscuria, whatever that is. Hillsboro, Ohio, world's largest horseshoe crab. Here we go. Facebook, world's largest horseshoe crab in Ohio. No, it's not. Trip Advisor, world's largest horseshoe crab, Hillsboro, Ohio. Here we go. What is this one? worldrecordacademy.org. Hillsboro, Ohio. No, I'm sorry. You guys, help me. You contact them. Either at least put a comment on there if you can, or contact the owner of the site. Say, look, would you change it? Sculpturecenter.org. World's largest horseshoe crab is in Hillsboro, Ohio. Here we go. Travel 88. Where is it? Okay, Hillsboro, Ohio. Okay. Only you in your state. Let's see. Giant attraction in Ohio. Historic marker database. World's largest horseshoe crab in Hillsboro, Ohio. That's where it was. It ain't there no more, guys, okay? Cincinnati Magazine, Hillsboro. Help us out. Look at this one. RoadsideAmerica.com. Krabby has been sold and last resided at Dinosaur Adventureland. Yay. One of them, of all the places, got it right, Joseph. And it says, it's worth a detour. Oh, it certainly is. Thank you so much. Josh, you've been a blessing painting this thing up. Oh, I got the new pictures. I forgot to put them in. They're in my phone. Just imagine. It looks sharp, okay? Our ark, we need help building the ark. If you want to come down, let the kids, wife and kids relax. One of our cabins, go swimming, and you can help us build the ark. We'll get some updated here pictures soon. We're going to try to finish 4 more sections. Each section is 12 feet. And then we got 4 more to go after that. 4 more sections. Turbo still looking for a wife, a Mrs. Turbo, if you find it. It has to be an African spurred tortoise. Hey, Joseph, a guy called me or texted me today. He's got a giant turtle, but it's not the same species. And it's a male. And this ain't Pride Week around here. So, okay, let's see. Facebook, log in. Let's see, I accept everybody. I got a whole bunch waiting on. Wait a minute. Am I supposed to do something?
They'll be there.
Okay, well, I'll click whatever I'm supposed to click when I figure out how to click it, okay? So just be patient with me. Let's see. I want to get to slide number 762. Enter. A dry morsel, better is a dry morsel and quietness therewith than a house full of sacrifices with strife. Solomon, writing to his boys, he had a bunch of them, okay? Said, boys, you're better off just have a nice quiet house and not even good food to eat than a house full of stuff and fighting going on all the time. King Solomon loved many strange women, with the daughter of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Zidonians, Hittites. God said, don't marry them, and he did. He had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines, okay. And his wife turned away his heart. A nagging wife. Solomon said, you're better off. Well, here, he said it 3 times in Proverbs. It's better to dwell in the corner of a housetop than with a brawling woman in a wide house. I wonder how he knew that. I bet out of those 1,000, a couple of them were brawlers, weren't they? Yeah, okay. Better to dwell in the wilderness than with a contentious and angry woman. 25, he says it again. Better to dwell in the corner of the housetop. Son, don't marry one that likes to fight and argue all the time. Don't do that, okay? If you treat your wife like a thoroughbred, you'll never end up with a nag. Zig Ziglar has great stuff. I highly recommend what I've seen of his, okay? Anyway, a wise servant shall rule over a son that causeth shame, and shall have part of the inheritance among the brethren. You know, a lot of the millionaires and billionaires are not leaving their company or their inheritance to their children. Michael Bloomberg, his company will be inherited by a trust to finance Bloomberg philanthropies and his charitable foundation rather than being passed on to his children. Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg pledged to give away the vast majority of their fortunes to philanthropy rather than their children. Anyway, the fighting pot is for silver and the furnace for gold, but the Lord tries the hearts. You know, you put silver in a pot and heat it up, and the dross goes to the top, you scrape it off. The more you heat it, the more the bad stuff floats, and you scrape it off, you end up with 99.9% pure silver. But the Lord checks the hearts. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? God said, I, the Lord, try the heart. Okay? Search me, O God, and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts. You ever ask God, would you tell me if you're happy with my thoughts? Ask him, okay? See if there be any wicked way in me, okay? And thou, Solomon, my son, know thou the God of thy father, serve him with a perfect heart and a willing mind. Do you really want to serve God with your life? Brother, I'm addicted to this ministry. I don't have any hobbies anymore. I used to love hobbies, you know. I'm addicted to the ministry. I love it. I dream about it, think about it, wake up in the middle of the night with ideas. Well, ask the staff. I get there in the morning. Hey, I got wild idea number 14,745. Listen up here, guys. O generation of vipers, how can ye being evil speak good things? Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. You can tell what's in somebody's heart. It's out of their mouth. Listen to them. What do they talk about all the time? That's what's in their heart. They curse and swear all the time. They step in cow dookie all the time. Comes out of their mouth. Yeah, okay. But I say, every idle word men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. By thy words thou shalt be justified, by thy words thou shalt be condemned. Anyway, a wicked doer giveth heed to false lips, and a liar giveth ear to a naughty tongue. Whoso mocketh the poor reproacheth his maker. Don't make fun of poor people. And he that is glad at calamity shall not be unpunished. Children's children are the crown of old men, and the glory of children are their fathers. You know, when your kids do right, it's just, yeah, I'm proud of you. Okay. Excellent speech becometh not a fool, much less do lying lips a prince. A gift is as a precious stone in the eyes of him that hath it. Whithersoever it turneth, it prospereth. A gift. You got to be careful with gifts. They can be used for bribery. A gift is a precious stone. Eliot's commentary, what I've seen, is so far really good. He said, let's see, all his energies are called out by the prospect of gain, so that he carries out successfully all that he had to set his hand to. The constant warnings against a form of corruption from the time of Moses to that of the prophets shows the prevalence of the evil in Israel. It's been the history of the world where people do corrupt things for money. People will steal from people they love or claim they love. They will deceive. Money is what a motivator. People do the strangest things just to get money. Anyway, I have satirical description of the power of bribery in palaces and among judges. Barnes notes, what I've seen is very good there, okay? Excellent speech becometh not a fool. A gift is as a precious stone in the eyes of him that hath it. We did that. He that covereth a transgression seeketh love. He that repeateth a matter separateth very friends. You don't have to tell all the bad things about your friend. You can just cover up for him a little bit. You're going to break up a good friendship, okay? Who covers a transgression seeks love. There's a time and a place for the exposure of sin, and I'm not afraid to do that. Somebody breaks the law, sins against our ministry or against me, I'm not afraid. What happened? Joseph, did you ever find that video we did that YouTube took down on my whole channel, but about answering the critics about the rumors? We have one. I had about 7 of them. So, some of the rumors going around about us, I answered a bunch of them. If you have those saved on your computer, send it to Joseph, text support at drdiner.com. Okay. There's a time to expose evil, and I am not afraid to, okay? To uncover someone's sin by repeating it to others will ruin relationships and divide friendships. You don't have to tell everything bad about your neighbor or friend or spouse, okay? A reproof entereth more into a wise man than 100 stripes into a fool. You can just scold a wise person, he'll get the message. You got to beat a fool 100 times, he still don't get it. An evil man seeketh only rebellion. Therefore a cruel messenger shall be sent against him. Let a bear robbed of her whelps meet a man rather than a fool in his folly. I think a bear missing her kids going to be pretty angry, okay? Rebuke is often more effective for a wise man because a wise man or woman will respond to rebuke and learn from it. It can be effective to him or her. Then 100 blows to a fool. Correction may be administered deeply and repeatedly to a fool, yet they will not receive it. The problem is not the correction itself, though the fool will likely blame it. The problem is the fool. There's just great commentaries on every verse in the Bible. Okay. An evil man seeketh only rebellion. Therefore a cruel messenger shall be sent against him. There it is. Let a bear robbed of her wealth. Okay. Whoso rewardeth evil for good, evil shall not depart from his house. Somebody does good to you and you reward them badly, you're headed for trouble with your house. The beginning of strife is as one letteth out water. Therefore leave off contention before it be meddled with. You know, most dams break when they get just a little leak. And then I'll show you. Here. Get this one right here. That's the way Solomon said it is. The beginning of strife, the beginning of a fight, when you just a little bit of water, a little bit of bad comments or something, you can start a fight over near nothing, okay? Leave off contention before it be meddled with. Just don't even start, okay? He that justifieth the wicked and he that condemneth the just, even though they both are abomination to the Lord. If you justify the wicked or condemn the perfect or the good man, like my open letter to Donald Trump addressing the rumors. If you got any of those, give them to me. February 1st, I did a show about people still calling me a tax protester on the internet, hundreds of places on the internet. They can't find anything bad with my science, So they attack my personality or something like that. Why is there a price in the hand of a fool to get wisdom, seeing he hath no heart to it? Why is he willing to pay to get wisdom? He doesn't want to know. Okay. A friend loveth at all times. A brother is born for adversity. A man void of understanding striketh hands means he shakes hands and he becomes surety. We talked about that a few weeks ago. You're the down payment, the surety. Oh, yeah. If he doesn't pay back that bill, I will. Solomon said, don't do that, son, okay? He loveth transgression that loveth strife, and he that exalteth his gate seeketh destruction. He that hath a froward heart, froward means stubborn in the Bible, findeth no good. He that hath a perverse tongue falleth into mischief. Some of the people I've debated have a perverse tongue. Man, how do they live with that in their head? Great. He that begetteth a fool doeth it to his sorrow, and the father of a fool hath no joy. Well, just when your son, when I was teaching school or when I was school principal for several years and teaching school, parents would come in when their kid did something dumb. And, I'm sorry to have to tell you, but here's what your kid did. You did that? Yeah, Dad. Dad gets embarrassed when the kids do dumb things. How many know what I'm talking about? Yeah, okay. A merry heart doeth good like a medicine, but a broken spirit drieth the bones. Is just being happy and cheerful helpful to your health? Go ahead and bring Patrick in here, brother. Patrick Urish, one of our trustees up in Pennsylvania. Patrick, is this true? Just being joyful and happy is good like a medicine? Tell us about it.
It is true. It is 100% true. And God knew it thousands and thousands of years before scientists figured this out. And I want to actually bring us to a little story that Bill Sardi would say, that we're both walking down a path here and a lion jumps out and scares us half to death. What's going to happen when this occurs? Well, your adrenal glands, two little glands that sit on top of your kidneys, are going to dump out hormones, stress hormones, and this is going to signal your body to dump sugar, dump sugar. And this, if you stay in this low mood, anxious mood, stressed out mood consistently, you're going to set yourself up for a plethora of issues in life. Now, this is good for the acute scenario. This is a wonderful design. You're going to get quick adrenaline energy, dumping sugar, climbing up a tree faster than you've ever climbed. But if you're living in this low mood, stressed out, anxious mood, you're going to have a gamut of issues. Well, let me recall a story that Bill Sardi would say, that he was in church one time and a real young gentleman came up to him with a bunch of problems, including pre-diabetes. And Bill Sardi goes to him and says, you're too young for that. What happened in your life? And the young man says, well, how do you know something happened? And Bill Sardi goes, well, just tell me what happened. And a very large wooden, I believe, pillar or something like that crushed his leg on the job site, and he never got over it. And he was depressed, anxious ever since, and his body just kept dumping out sugar, and he had pre-diabetes because of this, so young. So keep yourself of a merry heart, keep yourself of an uplifting mood, trusting in the Lord. You're improving your health. And what else is going on if we're in a very merry, uplifting mood? Well, first and foremost, there's a stress hormone in our body called cortisol. And if you're depressed, lower mood, always anxious, you have too much cortisol in your system. And what it's doing is it's lowering your immune system, literally impeding its functionality from too much stress hormone cortisol. But if you're of a more positive mood, trusting in the Lord, of a merry heart, believe it or not, you have substantially less cortisol, this stress hormone, and your immune system considerably functions better. Something else is people that are of a consistent chronic negative mood actually experience, believe it or not, more inflammation in their body. However, people with a positive mood actually have less of these inflammatory signals. If you're of a merry heart, you have less inflammation in your body, less of this low grade fire, if you will, which virtually is damaging most, if not all, of bodily systems, this low grade inflammation. You want to subside it? Be of a merry heart. Being of a merry heart lowers cortisol, which improves immunity. Being of a merry heart lowers inflammation, which lowers damages on the body. And above all of this, something very, very interesting is people of a more positive, cheerful mood, people that don't deal with too much stress, trusting in the Lord, actually have increased activity of something called natural killer cells. What are these? These are a type of white blood cell that are your first responders when foreign invaders, bad cells come about. They attack these bad cells rapidly, and they don't rely on antibodies like a lot of immune cells do. These cells directly kill pathogens, malignant cells through a toxic chemical release that's so lethal to bad cells. So if you're of a cheerful, merry heart, you have increased natural killer cell activity. You're going to kill bacteria, funguses, pathogens, cancerous cells much, much faster. Bill Sardi actually had a quote that goes, the next frontier in cancer immunotherapy is natural killer cell therapy. So what are you doing if you're sick? What are you doing if you're sick? Be of a merry heart. If you have cancer, if you're dealing with something, be of a merry heart. It's one of the absolute best things you could do for your health, which science is now realizing, but God called it thousands of years ago.
Amen, brother. Several times you mentioned Bill Sardi. He was one of our trustees for years of our ministry, knowledgeofhealth.com. He died a couple years ago. Great guy, genius on nutrition. And you've pretty much memorized all his stuff. And now, how do people get a hold of you? If somebody's got a health issue, a problem, how do they get a hold of Patrick Urish?
Yep. My number is, please reach out anytime, 570-814-5059. That is 570-814-5059. You could also just shoot me an email at urish.ihp@gmail.com. I'd be happy to help. Please, whatever you're dealing with, there are usually natural answers.
Urish is Yurish. Can you put that
Yes,
up, Joseph? Do you have that? There you go. Urish.ihp for what's IHP stand for?
that's my certification, Integrative Health Practitioner.
Integrative Health Practitioner, Gmail. So call Patrick.
Yes,
He's
sir.
up in Pennsylvania. Patrick, come down to visit. Come see what we're doing down here. It's amazing. Just be happy and be cheerful. It'll really help your health.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. If you're a grouch all the time, I'm grouchy because I'm sick. No, maybe you're sick because you're grouchy.
Yep.
Brother, we don't have a name for the crab yet. Crabby? Can you think of somebody we should name it after? Send in your suggestions to Joseph. One guy said, I got a mother-in-law. I said, well. Anyway. All right. Thank you so much, Patrick. Put up that number and name one more time there, brother. How do you get a hold of you? Health questions.
There it is.
570-814-5059. Urish.ihps in Pennsylvania. Bless him. Thank you, brother. You got one, 5-month-old kid now?
Oh, yes. Yep. Almost 6 months. Little one. First one.
Brother, that's why when I read this guy's book, even though he's a Mormon, I disagree on some theology. It's funny stuff. I love just to laugh.
Yeah. Amen. Amen.
Anybody's around me will tell you that. The joke all the time, you know. But laughter
Fabulous
is like
for health. Fabulous for the health.
Thank you, Patrick.
God.
All right, Proverbs chapter 17. A merry heart doeth good like a medicine. It does. Be cheerful. You say, but everything's going wrong. That's even more reason you ought to just be cheerful. Find something to laugh about. Okay? Somebody's got it worse off than you do. Right? A wicked man taketh a gift out of the bosom to pervert the ways of judgment. What? A wicked person takes a gift out of his bosom to pervert the ways of judgment. Corruption, a form of dishonesty or criminal offense that is undertaken by a person or organization entrusted in a position of authority. When you give someone a position of power, Judas was Jesus' bookkeeper, treasurer. He held the bag, and he stole things from Jesus. Jesus trusted him to hold the bag. People would make an offering to Jesus' ministry. Here, Jesus, here's 20 shekels or whatever they had back then. And Judas would put it in the bag, and he stole it. Corruption, okay? This has been the history of the world. This chart on the right shows the red countries are where the corruption is the worst, okay? They abuse their power. Has somebody given you the power to be the treasurer? Joseph, how many people have we had here in charge, in sitting in your seat? Because I don't know much about computers, and they would set up, people would donate like to PayPal, and it went to them, not us, didn't they? We had several do that.
Yeah, you.
We don't want to mention Randall's name, but or any of the other ones, but yeah. Can't you be trusted? Anyway, corruption may involve activities like bribery, influence, peddling, embezzlement, fraud. Go check out what's happening in Congress with Trump exposing some of this stuff. Yay, go get him, Trump. Okay, and tell you what, investigate my case. Go back and watch the February 1st and see what they did to me and overturn it, pay the damages, and leave me alone. I'm a Baptist preacher trying to win souls to the Lord. That's it. Okay, Baptist preacher. Political corruption occurs when other governmental office holder or other governmental employees act in an official capacity for personal gain. My book, I wrote The Kennel. Here we go. Get this one. The Kennel. I did it under a false name, Elijah Green, because Elijah was the prophet the king hated, and I wore green in that prison at my uniform. This is about the prison system. Did you know judges and policemen and congressmen and sheriffs can own stock in the jail and the prison system? So the longer they lock you up, the more money they make on their investment. That ought to be illegal or criminal. Get at this book, get hold of your congressman and say, do you own stock in the prison? See, there's more than just the jails. Who supplies the clothes for the jails? Who supplies the food? Who does the bus transportation, transporting prisoners around? They own stock in those companies. They're separate companies. Yeah, check out my book, The Kennel, if you get a chance, okay? Money, it's amazing what people will do for money. They'll steal from their own brother or sister, mom, dad, spouse. There you go. These are the countries. America rates pretty good. The red is the worst, okay. A foolish son is a grief to his mother and bitterness to her that bare him. To punish the just is not good. To strike princes for equity. He that hath knowledge spareth his words. A man of understanding is excellent spirit. You know, if you're really smart, you don't need to talk quite so much. Just sit there quietly. Even a fool, when he holds his peace, is counted wise. Everybody thinks, wow, he must be smart. He's just sitting there thinking. No, he's sitting there thinking about his video game, okay? A foolish son is a grief to his mother. Enduring word commentary is usually pretty good. Parents may find great grief in the foolish character of their children. Get embarrassed. That ain't my boy, okay? Bitterness to her that bare him. Because of the maternal instinct and bond, there's a special pain and bitterness that belongs to the mother of a foolish son or daughter. If the leader is upright, he should never be punished. When Trump is doing right, he should be rewarded, okay? And he's exposing a lot of evil, and they are upset about it. Too bad. Keep going, President Trump. We're praying for you, okay? One is reminded of Abraham Lincoln. He said, it's better to keep your mouth shut and let them think you're a fool than to open your mouth and remove all doubt. Love it. To punish the just for equity is not good, nor to strike princes for equity. He that hath knowledge spareth his words. Just few words. So get my open letter to President Trump. They should not have messed with me. I was a Baptist preacher. I didn't break any laws. Watch that show February 1st of a couple months ago. Okay, questions or comments, brother? Sorry for going so long.
No, we don't have much tonight, Doc.
Okay. All right. Well, tomorrow night, Whack an Atheist. Saturday, and Sunday, boot camp. We'll be having a whole bunch of stuff posted on all of our channels. Come join us. Bring your hammer. We got extra hammers, right and left-handed, either one. Come on down, and you can help us build Noah's Ark. We want to get more done on that thing. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow night for Whack an Atheist. Bye.